Hey guys, I just felt inspired to talk about why I decided to go back to college at 25. I know that this is something that a lot of older students are embarrassed about, myself included. I was embarrassed for a while, but I realized that it was just the journey for me, that there's no point in being upset or having FOMO about what my life would have looked like if I had gone to a four-year university right out of high school. It's just not what was for me, and this is it. So I want to start at the end of my senior year of high school. I was taking AP Psychology and AP Sociology, and I had a lot of fun with those classes and I was good at them. And I wanted to study them in college, and I was super hyped about going to a four-year university right after high school, specifically Portland University. Don't know why. I think I just wanted to get out of California. But unfortunately, I missed the deadlines for applications. I'm a first-generation college student, so none of my family had been to college before, so I didn't know what I was doing. But that's okay because I wouldn't have been able to afford a four-year university anyway. So I ended up going to my local community college, which, is great. There is no community college or trade school slander on this channel. We love community colleges. I'm so grateful to have gone to a community college. It saved me so much money. I graduated high school in 2014 and went straight to working retail. And to pay for my school at community college, I had to work. And I wouldn't have been able to afford going to a four-year university. Going to a community college, smaller class sizes, much more affordable classes, I was able to form relationships with my professors, get a more personalized learning experience. And because classes were more affordable, I was able to try a bunch of different subjects without draining my bank account. I was working part-time retail. I couldn't afford thousands of dollars of tuition. And I'm glad it was only a couple $100s a semester for me to go there. So I was so eager to start college after high school. I went straight into the summer session, so a couple of weeks after my high school graduation, I started college. I tested into the highest English class and the lowest math class, and that summer I got straight A's. So I was feeling really confident about my journey as a sociology major in community college. That was until the fall semester started. Oh boy, if you will, the decline of my sociology journey. I failed. I failed every single class. Every single one. After I got those grades back for that fall semester, I kind of had a realization that I'm not an analytical enough person to pursue a career in that field. And that's okay. I'm definitely more of a creative. And it just wasn't for me. So the spring semester rolled around, and I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is that I needed to get my GPA up. I wanted to study film or set design or something adjacent, but my school didn't offer any of that. But what we did offer was interior design. So I signed up for a few interior design courses just to feel it out. I took intro to interior design, quick sketching, and architectural history along with other liberal studies classes that I needed. And I got A's again, and I was super happy. And I thought to myself, hey, this interior design stuff's pretty cool. I'm kind of good at it, and I could make a lot of money doing it if I'm good enough. So I changed my major to interior design, just like that. My program was very science-based. So all of the classes that weren't very creative, I didn't do so well in. I got B's and C's, so it wasn't my favorite part. But flash forward to fall of 2017, I graduated with a degree in interior design, and luckily I got a job as soon as I graduated at a design studio. The previous semester I had an internship with them, and they just hired me as soon as it ended and I graduated. So that brings us to chapter 2, life post-grad. So I worked at that studio for like a year-ish, maybe a little under, maybe a little over, don't quite remember. And I left because I was a little too ambitious, and I took a job as a lead designer for a studio in Orange County, and that was a mistake. It was, first of all, it paid way too little, so much stress, and I was working a lot of hours and having to drive to a bunch of different houses and not getting reimbursed for that money. Wasn't for me. I worked there for a couple of months, I think 6 months maybe, and I quit because it was just way too much. So I got another job at a design studio in Los Angeles. I was an assistant designer and operations manager. So I did a lot of creative stuff, made little creative decks, sourced materials. I ordered all the stuff for the projects. I unloaded and organized all of the deliveries that we got. I went to construction sites for projects, make sure the contractors were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I did that for about 2 years, and I got physically and creatively exhausted. Our studio was extremely fast-paced. We were pushing out projects, and there was no time to like simmer with your creativity and like enjoy it and revise it if needed. Like, it was what it was, and then it needed to go out. And it was a lot. It stressed me out. Also didn't pay enough, and Los Angeles is expensive. And then the panty happened. During the panty, my design studio closed, and I couldn't find another job as an interior designer. So I gave up my apartment in Los Angeles, moved back home with my parents because I couldn't afford it anymore, and I re-enrolled at my old community college as a communications major. So this brings us to chapter 3, Community College 2.0. I chose communications as my major this time around. I had an assistant at my previous design firm that I had just left who came from the world of public relations, and I was really fascinated by it and everything that she had done, and I wanted to give it a try myself. So I re-enrolled as a communications major. I got an internship at a PR firm in Pasadena, and I also got a job as a creative assistant for a media company in Los Angeles, part-time remote because of the pandemic. And I was thriving. I was really good at communications, and I got several promotions at my job. I went from being creative assistant to communications coordinator to associate producer to producer to now I'm a podcast producer and production coordinator on the media side of the company, on the production side, so it was really fulfilling for me. But because of the panty, I had to move to Arizona, and now I'm attending university in Arizona. It's currently snowing a lot outside. Yes, it snows in Arizona. So I enrolled in the school. My first semester, I was a PR and advertising double major with a minor in journalism. And I was really good at it. I got straight A's in everything except for math. Okay, that's just to be expected for me. And I was good, and a few months ago, I had a realization, just because I'm good at it doesn't mean I enjoy it. And I thought about it, and I didn't. So I really thought about what I wanted to do, and I came to the realization for the second time that I wanted to work in the film industry. And my school here offers a film major, so I changed my major to film. It's only been one semester, but having my studies line up with what I do for work is really fulfilling, and as I'm learning things in school, I can apply them to my job, and I feel successful. And I've been making YouTube videos since I was 14 years old. I love shooting them, I love editing them, and I just, for the past 11 years, this has been my passion. So why not study it? I feel really happy now. Granted, it's only one semester in, but I feel like things are finally lining up, and I'm a late bloomer. I'm in college at 25 years old. I'm gonna graduate at 27. But you know, it's okay to not be on everyone else's timeline, to be on your own. I needed to go through all of those other things so I could figure out what I wanted to do, and I wouldn't change it, honestly. So the moral of the story is to not settle. Follow your heart and follow your gut. You don't need to know what you want to do right at graduation. And you might get stuck doing something or feel stuck doing something because you had already spent time on it. You might as well keep going. That's just gonna make you live a life devoid of purpose and devoid of happiness. I say it's okay to not be on the same path as everyone else. Break the norm. Be yourself. And I really hope that this video finds someone that needs to hear it. I wish I found something like this when I was debating going back to school or not. Just listen to yourself. You know yourself best, and do what makes you happy. Alright, that's enough sap. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you want to see my journey as a 25-year-old college student, click subscribe and keep watching.